It's a domestic violence situation that took place in front of my home. As you can see, there's a young woman running up my driveway towards my garage area. I was in the house. I heard the tires squealing. I came outside to see what was going on, and this young lady was standing at the foot of my garage. There's no audio for this video. I came out to find out what was going on, and there was a male in the car, and he was begging her to come back and get in the car. And this young woman had bruises about her neck and face. She was in tears. She was shuddering with fear. She said this man intended to kill her. At that point, I told him to stay off my property. I also disclosed at that point that I have video surveillance on the house. As you can see, I'm pointing down the street and towards my ear and pointing towards my neighbor to have him call the police. At this point, he's trying to convince the young lady that he loves her and he wants her to get back in the car so they can work out the situation that has just taken place. As you can see, I'm actually standing in front of her. I'm trying to block him from actually interacting with her because he's moving her. He's telling her, I love you and we can work this out, and this is not going to happen again, and things like that. So I go back and I consult with her to try to figure out exactly what is going on, and he stops the car just out of view. And so I'm keeping an eye on him. He gets out of the car, and once again he begins to interact with the young lady, telling her that they can work this out, and he wants me to stay out of their business. And at this point, I begin to tell him he's not allowed to come onto my property, and he needs to stay back and do not enter my property. So once again, he's just out of the video frame. He continues, he begins to insult me. He comes up to the border of my property where I'm telling him to back up. He continues on. I go into my garage. I pick up the first thing I can find, which is a machete. I again point towards my neighbor to make sure that my neighbor is involved, and I had asked him to call the police. He continues to berate this young lady, telling her to get back into the vehicle. As you can see at the top of the screen, now my neighbor is making his way down to my home. And this man is trying to convince this woman to get back into the car with him. Ladies, you have to be careful. You have to protect yourself. Domestic violence is real. The police did show up, and apparently they've been looking for this guy for some time.